Okay, we're on our way to go treasure hunting. Relic kid wanted to have menudo.
I got a seed.
So we're having menudo today. It's busy in here. Ready? Go find some cannonballs. I think his was too hot. You gonna be okay?
I'm fine, I just got seed on that one bite.
All right, we are out here with Relic Kid. He's digging a target. Let's see him in the viewfinder. Oh, there he is. And basically, more or less, we're a couple states away from home. So we had been looking for a Civil War camp, Confederate camp for a while. A couple years ago, we narrowed it down to this property. We never could get permission. And here's a great example of why you take care of your landowners that let you have permission. I had a neighboring landowner that was letting us look. And he calls me the other day, even though we don't live here anymore, and says, hey, that land you always wanted to go on, you thought the camp was on, I bought it. You guys want to come down here and check it out, which was super nice of them to think of us. And so basically we got out of school. Jackson got out of school yesterday. I got out of work. We threw some clothes in the detectors in the Jeep. And we headed across a couple states. So we just got out here and started. I'm finding some railroad spikes, period spikes, which is a good sign. Some period black glass, and my first really interesting target is going to be this thing. I'm not sure what that's off of. It definitely could be period, but it's like an oriental motif. It's ladies with fans, and then the back's got like buildings, look, maybe Chinese or something. So I'm not sure what that's from, but it's cool. And hopefully some Confederate stuff starts coming up soon. What you getting over here, Jackson?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. We'll get back to you.
No,
all right. So we're digging out here. It's a little bit muddy, but we're definitely on an old spot. Getting some big iron buckles and spikes. So no buttons or anything yet, but I'm seeing just about every other sign that something's going on here of about the right era. So I'm kind of just expecting a Confederate button to pop out any minute. We'll see. All right, we just filmed a second ago that I said we were getting good signs of a camp or something in the period. We walk through this muddy area and there's all kinds of iron and it looks period. I found chain and stuff. And I got a big iron signal. I don't know if you can see this. I think that is whole camp cook pot, or most of one. See my foot, it's huge. Jackson, take this camera, see if we can get it out of here without breaking my back or breaking my pot. Oh yeah. It's got legs on it. Well, it's got one leg left on it. I can't believe that. See the leg? If we can get the dirt out of it, it won't be so heavy. There's charcoal in this hole, there's other iron. I'm thinking we're in a trash pit, and I'm pretty positive this is the camp. It's crazy. To me, this makes it worth the drive. Because I've been wanting to find one of these for a long time. I find pieces all the time.
You're gonna put it in the electrolysis process?
And look, there's old glass in here and stuff. Charcoal. Detect this hole. Oh, this thing's gonna weigh 1,000 pounds. All right, you can stop it. We'll get back to them when it's cleaned up.
Okay, so while he was cleaning this out, he found a bottle top, and this more specifically the top of a you can tell.
Cork top, medicine top, probably. But I imagine this is period, so there may be other stuff in here. I don't know if it's a rock or what. We're gonna have to dig out this whole hole. We may need help. Definitely gonna have to, we were gonna go back tonight, but yeah, that's a rock. But the way this is shaking up, I think we're gonna have to stay and dig tomorrow too.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to help them dig out this one too. Here we go.
Your pinpointer's beeping. Relic kids, why is mine beeping? I'm not even using it. Oh. Trials and tribulations of pinpointers. So Relic kid's digging this hole. He just got a spoon. What's left of one? Some. If we were in a colonial area, I'd say that was redware, but shouldn't be here. Put it in our pot. So Relic kid's having a blast digging this trash pit, getting muddy. He got another spoon. Rinsed it off a little bit in that mud hole over there, but yeah, we'll throw that in our pot.
Yeah, this is just soft dirt all the way down.
There we go. All right, so we're detecting around this trash pit. We believe it's a trash pit. I'm digging a little bit. Next signal is horse bit. What's left of one? I'm liking it. On the one hand, we need to dig out this pit for sure. On the other hand, we got like 50 acres of possible camp we need to detect, so time is our only enemy.
Big rock.
I'm sitting here looking at what might be one of the better finds of the day. Jackson's trying to see it. He's looking right at it and still doesn't know what it is. See if you can see it.
Over there.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh!
Well, it's not as perfect as I was hoping it would be, but it's still pretty nice. So we'll take that.
Now, it's kind of weird because me personally, I prefer these Native American artifacts over the Civil War artifacts. They interest me more in a way. I mean, I'm still gonna look for both of them, but these are really cool for me.
Yeah, you check it out. It's very sharp. Daggum train going by, loud as all get out. Relic kids looking for arrowheads. And a nice little buckle. It's even got a brass tongue, so it still works. That's cool. We are, of course, looking for buttons in large part, and I tell you, this thing had me excited. But it's a great seal, probably World War I era. Cool find, but not what I was hoping it was gonna be. There we got like a 90 signal here. We're just walking around this property trying to find more stuff, and I can see that this is silver, but not what it is yet. And I'm guessing it's probably just a Washington silver or something. Yep. Looks like that's what we got. But hey, it's silver. 34. And of course I wiped the dirt off because it's a Washington. I figure it's not worth much. But boy, you can tell where it scratches it when you wipe it. True story. Anyway, silver's cool. Alright, we back in North Carolina next day. I'm cleaning the stuff out of the car. What a mess, man. Look at all this relics and junk. I got really relics, mostly shotgun shells. But anyway, getting ready to clean all that up now. I think that Relic Kid is somewhere down at the creek playing before it gets dark, but he goes back to school tomorrow, so I guess that's fair. Leaving all the work to me. But we hunted that spot and did not find any Civil War buttons or bullets, but I still think it may be part of the camp. To give a little backstory, we, across the street essentially from that location, found a very small area in which we found 5 or 6 different Confederate buttons representing 3 or 4 different Confederate states. Again, no bullets and very little else that would tell you it was a military camp except normal household items. And I think that's just kind of indicative of the kind of camp it was. So I don't think you're necessarily going to find a lot of bullets. We were finding a lot of mid-19th century stuff that I think could have easily been from the camp, or possibly we went in the wrong direction for the camp and it's just a house but of the same period. Most of that site we couldn't get into while we were there because it's grown up. So the farmer's going to clear it and we'll go back. But probably the big find for the day is this right here. And here's our pot that we dug up. And I'm pretty excited about that. Hey, Molly. Checking on us. So this is a cook pot. If you metal detect a lot in camps, colonial through Civil War, you'll find a ton of pieces of these, and I've always wanted to find a whole one. And this is the closest I've come. It's missing a little bit of the lip in places, but it does have a couple handles. It's got one leg on bottom, which I'll show you later. That's so you could sit it over the coals of the fire and cook underneath. So it had 3 legs at one point, 3 or 4. It's only got one left. But this is what it looks like at the moment. Just really pretty rough. And in it, we've got some of the things that came out of the hole. Some spoons, some buckles, and some things that came elsewhere in the hunt. I stepped on Jackson's metal detector. As many times as I told him not to step on mine. It's a piece of a bit. Some glass and things. So I'll get that out of there. I've done a lot of electrolysis, but that's probably the biggest thing I've ever done. And I want to do it right away before it deteriorates any, because you let it sit, it'll just get worse. And what I picture is getting this really cleaned up where it looks nice. I'm going to put it up in the relic room, fill it with mini balls or something like that as I find them. So that'll look cool. So I went out and got me a new tub for electrolysis. And so this is just a big tub from Walmart, like $6 or $7. A couple of steel rods, a couple steel plates from Tractor Supply from the welding supplies. Not stainless and not galvanized. Those things will release poisonous chemicals when you do electrolysis. So we're going to put that pot in here and cook it. And then we'll probably, I normally do a wax bath in my relics, but this thing's too big for that. So I'll probably do some Gimpler's rust converter, like Mr. Steve Phillips recommends. Here's my battery charger that I'll use. And I'll show it to you once we get it going, and then I'll show it to you in a few days when it's all done. Hopefully it'll look cool. Alright, so I just took this kettle out of electrolysis. Excuse that I'm tearing down this old pull, tearing it out. But here's the kettle. It's been cooking for a few hours a day for several days. I don't let it run when I'm not here or awake. I'm just paranoid about it. I'm sure it's perfectly safe, but I think it's going to be really good on these sides that we're facing the electrodes. And we may have to turn it and cook it more with these sides facing the electrodes and then the bottom facing the electrodes, because I'm not sure it's getting it. Or add more electrodes or diodes or whatever they're called.
Or you could just like scrape away the layer since there's a side here.
Oh yeah, that's what we're about to do, is just kind of see this ultra satisfying cleanup. Look at that. See, it's good. You want to hold that now? Oh yeah, let's see, this is gonna look really nice once you rub everything off. That's gonna be smooth, just almost like new. But probably just screamed into the camera, sorry about that. We don't want to have to force it, so if we come to any areas where it doesn't just slough off like that, then those are areas that may need more treatment. However, so far it's pretty good. But when you start to go up, see to the bottom, this is still pretty solid. And down here seems to be fairly solid still, so we'll probably have to face the top towards the things too. Ooh. Seemed really soft there, but I think it's just the stuff. So this stuff is getting loose, but not all the way yet. Obviously this looks great. So it just is gonna need some more, which I kind of figured.
You gonna try the other side now?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a hole in it.
Yeah, this is where one of the legs was that broke off.
Oh.
We didn't do that. It's probably why it was thrown away. This is very satisfying. And see, this stuff is so thick. There's even rocks. That's a rock. Here's a rock that are like concreted into it.
Concreted is the new verb.
What I'm happy with, we're not anywhere near done. But what I feel good about is that it's gonna be good when it is done. It's gonna be real nice. But we ain't done. This is pretty still on there, fairly thick.
And it kind of smells a bit too.
Yeah, well, it probably smells like baking soda mostly.
Yeah. It's real windy out here, real windy a day in western North Carolina.
Probably got too much baking soda in this. Don't get your clothes on that because it's stain them. Let's see if it did anything inside. Probably not. But maybe.
Since we didn't get footage of when it was in electrolysis, it was facing so that the opening, the top, was at the bottom.
We filmed it.
Oh.
See, here's a rock that was stuck in it. Yeah, the inside is still pretty solid, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to treat the inside. This is a rather big project, really. Alright, well, cool. So it's coming. For now, I'll probably have to put it in there, face a different direction, and let it go a while longer. We'll get back to you.
Yup.
Alright, so we're detecting around this, oh, I'm not filming. Yeah. Am I? There's a camera upside down. What the heck?